Okay, match 5. So hopefully we don't play Mono Green Tron for a 3rd time in a row. We choose Obosh. Well, you know, I was actually kind of thinking about discussing this too, actually. We are going to keep. Actually, Blood Moon is kind of a threat too, if you think about it. We're going to lead on Valakut, because we don't really gain much from holding up Lava Dart anyway. There's not too many 1 toughness haste creatures other than Bomet Courier, and usually we can afford to take 1 damage from something. But yeah, Blood Moon is kind of a threat. I mean, you know, well, maybe not in this matchup, because, well, I don't know. I was thinking Red-Green Punza, but this may turn out to be Red-Green Titan, which Blood Moon is also good against. It doesn't, like, stop them from doing things, but it does. And we'll just continue to make land drops. It was correct to play Mountain, but we'll see. Yeah, maybe it was, because, like, the truth of the matter is, once Blood Moon comes down, these these Valakuts come down untapped anyway. But for some reason, it's always possible you might not. No, we probably will play. We'll probably will play Mount Blood Moon. Yeah, the mana screwed too. Interestingly, or they just skipped. Okay. Oh no, it's Amulet Titan. Well then. Well then, we are definitely dropping Blood Moon. Kind of regretting dropping Valakut, but on the other hand, we will curve out to Obosh pretty cleanly, and this way we will have access to putting Obosh into hand and an untapped mana for Dryad. Actually, yeah, in retrospect, this was correct to play Valakut. We just probably should have thought it through a little bit more, but it was correct because this is the only way we can curve out to Obosh and have an extra mana open to Flame Slash this Dryad. So yeah. So that's definitely what we want to do. Still though, 3 big mana decks in a row. It's quite a lot, but you know, at least we're not playing Mono Green Tron 3 matches in a row. So we do have to Flame Slash this. They keep skipping through their you know, to their second main phase before they drop their next land drop. Interestingly. Yeah, so we do have to Flame Slash this because with this they can make 2 land drops next turn and they can drop a Titan, which is not as threatening if they don't have access to you know, all their utility lands from Titan. But a 6/6 trample that, you know, thins their deck for 2 lands when it comes into play and attacks, which, you know, deck thinning actually doesn't really matter much unless you pull like 10 lands out of your deck. You know, then suddenly you do start actually feeling it. You know, and hopefully we screw them out of 2 green sources for the Titan. All right, now we don't have to play this Valakut, so hopefully they don't play main deck Dismember. And this is where having a companion is kind of nice, because who's to say we would have had a creature other than our guaranteed companion. So that is kind of, that can be kind of nice here. I mean, that's nice here, and it can be kind of nice overall. And the Dryad, well, at least 1 Fireball cleanly deals with that now, which is pretty nice. It's a lot of lands. Yep, let's Firebolt. Yeah, I mean, say what you want about Obosh, but, like, I mean, obviously it is a very powerful card if it does resolve and stick. Only reason why sometimes I doubt how necessary it is just that it sometimes can be really hard to resolve or stick, but sometimes, like here, it's definitely pulling a lot of weight. I mean, even if they had another forest, definitely Obosh makes dealing with Titan way easier, whereas without, it can actually be kind of challenging. Okay, so they might be able to Drop a Titan now. Yeah, this is fine. I'm tempted to cycle the Valakut and ditch the Lava Dart, but in actuality, we kind of need that. We don't really need it, but it is helpful here. So I'm just going to cycle the Valakut for no extra value. It could be a mistake, but I mean, if we hit another land, then flashing back Firebolt is more damage anyway. And if we hit almost anything else, it's more damage. So even though we're losing out on one Prowess trigger, I think we'll end up coming out ahead. Yeah, so you just land as well. All right, so let's get to work on the Titan. And I guess, see, we can actually flash like Firebolt on this guy. Yeah, we don't want to. I don't know. Let's be mana efficient. This could be a mistake, but I do think the Titan is a bit more threatening. Also, if they somehow rip like a Reclamation Sage or something, the Titan can get them back in the game. The Dryad by itself, not necessarily. Yeah, plus they're blocking with it. I wonder if they forgot that that it was going to kill it off. But then on the other hand, I mean, with a Firebolt sitting in a graveyard, I guess they had to block. So, okay. Alright. There is a lot of temptation to play Shattering Spree because sometimes their Amulet hands can get out of control. I do kind of like the idea of having the Prowess creatures to like rush them down, but so believe it or not, I think Bonecrusher Giant is kind of like one of the weaker links because just because the stomp doesn't get amplified by Obosh. That's the thing. So I think we can probably play Shattering Spree, and I don't know, 4 might be a little bit overkill. We could play 2 Oblivion Stones. The only problem is obviously like it's a lot of mana because we also have to like give a fate counter to our Blood Moon, so we don't like shoot ourselves in the foot. But once we give like fate counters to our Blood Moon, then it helps deal with Titans, everything else they have to throw at us. It's a weird card. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with 4 Shattering Sprees. Yeah, we'll just do this. I mean, if you think about it, we would bolt a Sakura Tribe Scout, and I think Amulet is objectively even more of a turbocharge type card. So, alright, so I think it makes sense. Yeah, it sounds a little iffy, but you know, hey, it's got pressure, and maybe we'll cycle and draw into a Blood Moon later on. This isn't exactly my first choice of hand, but it's also not. It's also like not terrible either. Does need some more help though. Yeah, does need a little more help, so we'll see. This could get very ugly very fast. So yeah, they're gonna return the fountain, which is fine by me. So, question then is, what are they going to? I mean, what is actually? Yeah, if they draw up a Dryad, then we kind of need a Blood Moon. Actually, I don't know. Maybe we need a Okay, go. That's good. Because think about it, Explorer is a little bit less threatening because even though it helps make another land drop, it doesn't continuously help them make more and more land drops. So yeah. So let's see what they're up to. Next turn, we're probably gonna cycle this Forgotten Cave just because if we draw a Shattering Spree, I think that is probably what we're going to want to play. And then, you know, if we don't draw Shattering Spree, we'll probably just drop the Swiftspear. Alright, well, so I'm getting a little bit concerned about this hand now, because obviously this hand needed to draw into a little something more. Plus it's extremely vulnerable to engineered explosives, but of course if they engineer explosives, they'll have to blow up their amulet too. So at least there is that. What we really kind of need is a Blood Moon, but I kind of am suspicious that they might have either a Rex Sage in hand and a Forest, or they might have a Force of Vigor. You know, they do play that, because that can actually deal with a Blood Moon, even with no basic Forest. Which, I can see the appeal to a design like that, because Blood Moon can definitely be kind of annoying, but the problem is I feel like the deck's Blood Moon stops are even more annoying than Blood Moon itself, but maybe that's just me. So we're probably gonna get their haste game going. See, this is why we needed Shattering Spree. Because they got their Titan game going on turn 3 before we could play Blood Moon even. Of course, we didn't have Blood Moon in our hand, but even if they did, things still got a little ugly. Although they're not going for their haste plan, interestingly. They're going for their Talaria West plan. I wonder why. I mean, the haste plan would have been like the same thing, unless they have the haste cards in their hand, which they might. That's probably the best explanation for why they're going for the Summoner's Pact plan. This means if we draw Blood Moon, well, better lucky than good sometimes. I mean, we'll see though. I think I got Force of Vigor, but I mean, what are we supposed to do? Not play this? They might play Pact of Negation too, even. Okay, well, it's not Pact of Negation, but I got a feeling they're gonna play Pact of what's the word called? I mean, Force of Vigor. If only they had to destroy their amulet too, but they don't. So yeah, they're deciding what card to pitch. I wish I could take advantage of the fact that I somehow had this Sixth Sense, but well, wait a minute. Okay, maybe not. Well, maybe sometimes it's good to be overly concerned, maybe, but they still might have that basic force in the Rex Sage that we were worried about. Alrighty. Well, I mean, you would think if they had the force in Rex Sage, they would have played it before they attacked. It just seems weird for them to keep a hand that can't deal with Blood Moon at all. I mean, because they got completely demolished by Blood Moon in Game 1, so why would they keep a hand that completely folds to it in Game 2? Maybe they were hoping they'd draw into it too, like we were kind of hoping we'd draw into Blood Moon. So who knows? I mean, by that same token, they could still wonder, like, why did we keep a hand without Blood Moon? I mean, if we didn't rip Blood Moon off on the third turn, they'd be like, oh, come on. Why do they keep a hand without Blood Moon? So it's like touche, you know. Both of us were trying to draw into something good. Okay, there's the Rex Sage finally. Yeah, okay, yeah. There it is. Oh yeah, that's why actually, because they probably didn't have the basic force in their hands, so they needed to get it out of their library. So at least if we rip a burn spell, maybe we. Man, the problem is dealing with this Titan though. That doesn't you know. They do have another Titan on the way. More Dryad. Got one more land drop. Wait a minute. Did they just make it so that if we draw Blood Moon, we win? Because they die from their own pact? Well, let's see if we can get double lucky. Okay, let's see. No, they were going to fire their forest. I don't know. They're definitely living life on the edge, as they say. Unfortunately, we only have Blood Moon we can draw, and then maybe like a Forgotten Cave for like one redraw potential. Let's say I have one more land drop, which maybe I miscounted. Their land drops. No? Alright, let's see if we Ripperoni. Okay. No, I think there's no way out of this. I guess we might as well just cycle this just for shits and giggles, as they say. Well, there's the Blood Moon, but see, that's actually kind of why Valakut's nice. I mean, like, it does. One other card lets you filter so many cards deep for Blood Moon. So, alright, see, if we would have actually dropped Blood Moon before, or had a Shattering Spree, then actually we could have prevented them from dropping the turn 3 Titan. They needed a Titan to get another forest, so the Blood Moon could have been a complete lock, actually. That's why we cited in Shattering Spree. This hand needs more help, but this time it doesn't have. See, the problem with hands like this is that if this hand had one more mountain, I'd be inclined to keep, because then all I have to rip is Blood Moon off the top. But hands like this, I'm a little more hesitant, because I have to rip both a land and a Blood Moon in the next 2 draws, ideally. So, all right. Well, see, this hand does fit that criteria. It's got some pressure. It's got 3 lands. All I need to do is rip a Blood Moon off the top, which seems like we're trying to get super lucky, but I mean, I don't think it's that much more lucky for us with our card draw capability to draw into Blood Moon than it is for them to get their Titan. It's kind of like, yeah, we are kind of going for the Blood Moon, and they are going for the Titan. Blood Moon is kind of what we do, and Titan is kind of what they do. So let's see. Oh. Well, I was hoping that would be Amulet, but... So I could Lightning Bolt that, but the problem with Grazer is always it feels a little bit iffy to use spells like Lightning Bolt on it. But on the other hand, it soaks up a lot of damage. This could be totally wrong, but I just don't... yeah, I just don't see Lightning Bolt really doing much. Because like we really need to be able to deal with Dryad, for example, and yeah. Plus, if we draw a Valakut, the Valakut could come in handy too. I don't know where they always play those types of cards in their second main phase. I guess I gotta return the Radiant Phenomenon, I'm sure. And they're already at Castle Garenbrig mana. Well, see, now we can actually deal with a Titan, which is pretty nice. And this is why we kept the bolts. Now, unless they also have Amulet, I think we want to put Obosh to hand. Just be mana efficient. I mean, it could backfire, but I think we kind of. I mean, what else are we realistically going to put Obosh into hand, right? I didn't draw Blood Moon on curve, but on the other hand, they probably have an answer. So let's see. Okay, so they don't quite have Castle Garenbrig yet. But now they're on track for playing Titan next turn. Turn 4 Titan. Not the fastest of Titans, but not the most slow of Titans either. Curving out into Obosh could also be what the doctor ordered. Who knows? Maybe they kept a hand with an answer to Blood Moon, but not Titan. I'd keep a hand like that if I were them. If as between a hand that had Titan and no answer versus a hand with a Titan but no answer. Well, they might be one land drop short too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Well, we kind of are getting on track to Titan. Kind of want to double bolt the Dryad, but the problem is I really want to double bolt the Titan. I think I have to kill this though because it's gonna like wreak havoc if a Titan comes down. Yeah, plus I get to kill both of these Grazers too, so yeah, I'm gonna double bolt reluctantly. A lot of defensive creatures. So what it kind of looks like is they may have kept a hand with Titan and a answer to Blood Moon, but without 6 mana at the time. However, their deck has a lot of lands, so it's not completely unforeseeable. They might rip a land off the top. So I'm guessing the two cards in their hand are probably Titan and Rex Age, but we shall see. Okay. I wonder if they're just going for the Dryad first, just for extra oomph. Well, if they did, this will definitely... So the last card in their hand might be an answer to Blood Moon, like we were suspecting. Or it might be Titan, and they might have been going for extra oomph. But, yeah. But if so, it may have backfired, so I don't know. I wonder what this is. Probably maybe Aether Gust? I mean, if so, like, they don't have Titan in hand. It's not too bad. That means they don't have Titan in hand, you know? And we do get a 3/3 out of the deal. And if we do rip a land, we do have Obosh in the wings. But like we suspected, I guess it turns out they did keep a hand with an answer to Blood Moon, but no Titan. Which does make sense, I think, in games 2 and 3, when they know that, like, a big part of our strategy is Blood Moon. In my experience with these decks, they usually rip a Titan off the top right when they need it. I don't know if they need it right now, but in my experience, they'll rip a Titan off the top. I mean, you know, that's a good rip too. They usually rip well, in my experience. So I guess good thing we got the Beast. At least the Engineered Explosives will take care of the Grazer. I want to cycle the Forgotten Cave, but I think I need to get to Obosh mana. On the other hand, you know what? I take it back. I'm going to cycle Forgotten Cave, because, well, now what if we draw like a dumb burn spell that doesn't do anything? Yeah. Problem with this attacking is I don't want them to just eat the 1-drops for nothing. They might not block because... Or they might just block with the Grazer if you think about it. Okay. Alright, well, I reluctantly play that. I really want to cycle that, but, like, I really want to hit my 5th land drop too. So the question is, do they need Titan yet? Because they usually rip Titan when they need it. We can stave off the inevitable frustration. Okay, so that answers the question. They didn't need it just yet. It wasn't. It's like Batman for them. It's like it's the hero. Well, I mean, I guess it is the hero they need and the hero they want, but you know. All right. Oh, see, should have cycled it. Well, how do you know? How do you know, right? All right, let's just get Obosh down. I still don't want to attack with these 1-drops. It's just I just don't want them to just like eat it for nothing. Yeah, that makes sense. I think the good news for us is I think they don't need Titan just yet. Meaning I don't think they're going to rip it next turn, but they'll probably rip it the turn after that. We'll see. Unlucky Titan players might feel like we rip Blood Moon when we need it, which is, if you think about it, we kind of do a lot of times, so I guess we can't complain too much. I don't know. It's whether it's this turn or next turn, I got a feeling they're going to rip it when they need it. Ooh, 2 green. Ooh, 3 green. Ooh, 4 green, or 4 green and a blue. Can we count? Ha ha ha. 5 mana. 6 mana? 6 mana. Okay, so I guess they did need it this turn. So I guess double Valakut and maybe they kill the Obosh. guess I don't need double Valakut, I guess. Why wouldn't they get double Valakut, though? I guess because they want to return Toliara West to their hand. Well, if we rip Blood Moon, like, right now... Oh, well, that's not returning Toliara West, but anyway. Yeah, I mean, if we rip Blood Moon right now, we definitely have a chance. Alright. Yeah, so it goes sometimes. Yeah, this game is kind of like, you know, we could both be really salty. Like, this is one of the matchups where, like, they accuse us of drawing Blood Moon right when we need it. We accuse them of drawing Titan right when we need it. The reality is, a good chunk of the time we both do. It really feels like they always get Titan, but, you know. Again, it's the lucky Titan players draw the Titans, and the unlucky ones feel like we draw the Blood Moons right when we need them. So it's like, you know, it's just, I guess we just ran into a lucky Titan player as opposed to an unlucky one. So I'm not quite sure what that was about. Anyway, this is gonna produce a lot of land, meaning a lot of Valakut triggers. Yep. Okay, so, yep. 18 Valakut triggers. Yeah, definitely a very supreme demonstration of skill right here. There's my little salt for the day. But whatever, I mean, it would have been way more skillful if we would have ripped Blood Moon off the top, am I right? Alright.